Nice turnout. Good to see everybody.
Amazing how that works, isn't it?
Did we miss anything?
Amazing, yeah. We played better without you guys. So don't take it personal. But yeah, it's been obviously a great couple of weeks. Guys are playing really well. Tremendous confidence, and thought we really executed well against Duke. Know we're going to have our hands full with NC State. They played very well last night in their win, and you know, got C.J. Bryce back, who's an outstanding player, and you know, will make a difference for them. So we're going to have to continue our great play. Our guys, I think, will be excited about the opportunity and the challenge that they present.
Do you like playing a team this close to the last game against them within a few weeks? And I know they get Bryce back, or would you rather have a little bit of distance between it?
It probably doesn't matter. You know, it's no advantage either way. Both teams familiar with each other, and you know, it's a little bit different just because we don't do it that often. But I guess now with this, you know, new 20-game schedule, we're going to play a couple more teams twice, so it'll probably happen a little more frequently. But I don't think it really has a bearing on anything.
Coach, have you had a chance to reflect in the past 24 hours just how magical the Tobacco Road trifecta in order to pass Cliff Ellis for most wins at Clemson?
Yeah, not a lot of reflecting, no, but certainly, you know, humbled and honored to have won as many games as we've won. I've coached a lot of really good players and had some great help with tremendous assistant coaches. You know, just proud of being able to be here this long and battle in this league and you know, have some success and certainly want more than what we've had. But you know, I've talked openly about how much I love being at Clemson and how comfortable my family is here, and girls going to school here, and I really enjoy this place. I love working for my administrators. You know, they're very supportive and I think like what we're doing, and you know, I love the culture that Clemson provides. The atmosphere, it's a great place to live and work, and you know, the challenge of competing in this league is one that is about as good as you're going to get in this sport. So put that all together, and you know, I'm just very humbled and honored to be coaching here still, and just hope to kind of build on what we've been able to do here the last couple of weeks and last couple of years.
Last time we talked to you, it was after the NC State game, I guess, and there was a lot of talk about how you had handled adversity and some of the struggles. Well, now how have you handled the success of these last 3 games?
You know, just the one thing I'd say about our guys have been great the whole year, even when we weren't playing as well. I kept telling you guys, like, hey man, our guys are competing hard. We're coming to practice wanting to be coached, and you know, just trying to get better. And as a coaching staff, we're trying to figure out the best way to work with this team. You know, there were a couple things that we were doing in Italy that probably didn't translate as well to the college game, and so we've made a couple of adjustments, and you know, maybe that's going to help our team a little bit. I think having Clyde back has helped our team. Just, you know, another older player that's been through difficult games, end of games, and I think, you know, while his numbers aren't inspiring in terms of like scoring a bunch of points and doing all these great things, he's made a lot of really good, simple plays, pocket passes to Amir. You know, like when North Carolina did the run and jump, you know, Clyde just bounced his dribble over, drew 2, pocket pass to Amir, he goes and lays it in. You know, he executed the pass to Amir right on time, right on target for the 3-point shot to send it to overtime. He had a great pocket pass to Amir for a layup with about 2.5, 3 minutes to go yesterday. He's made a lot of really simple, good plays, winning plays that we've kind of needed. And it's settled our team down a little bit. It's been good. And, you know, we've made a couple of adjustments to help our guys. Our guys have gained some confidence. We were playing. There's some games that we played very well in. Colorado and Miami, I think, are both 2 games where we played well and really probably controlled both games and let them get away from us. So it's not like I ever didn't think that this team couldn't be good or couldn't play at a good level and beat some good teams. I thought we could. We just had to figure out, some better ways to help them be successful, and then we had to do it a few times to gain some confidence. So, we still have a slim margin, compared to some teams. We don't have tremendous size. We don't have some electric speed point guard that can just break teams down and create baskets easily for his team, for himself or other guys. We have to really work and execute. We're a team of execution, and when we execute well, we have a chance to be good. But we also need to shoot the ball well. So I think defensively we fought very well this year so far, even though we're a little undersized. I think we've done a good job competing and fighting on the glass and trying to swarm to the ball, and more times than not, we've had pretty good defensive performances. A couple games this year we haven't played quite as well. Certainly second half at Florida State, I didn't think we defended well against Minnesota and, things of that nature. But we're a team that I thought would improve because we have 7 new players, and, we need to get guys back. We've started to get guys back again a little bit, so now these last week or so we've been able to practice a little bit better. I think that helps. I think it's just a culmination of a lot of things. As much as anything, is just kind of getting into a rhythm with who you have, and who you don't have. Sometimes that helps. And then you win a game or two, you build some confidence and hope to build on that momentum.
Coach, when you were winning early in the season, Mac was averaging about 16 points a game, and then he went through kind of a lull when he went through the losing streak. He's been back at the top of the scoring column these last 3 games. What do you think the key's been for him turning around?
A little better mix to his game, not just selling for threes, but driving the ball a little bit. He's even gotten a couple offensive rebound putbacks. He's found other ways to get a basket besides shooting threes. And we talked a little bit about that. He's got to find some other ways. He can't just be a 3-point shooter that gets shots off. And obviously, I think early in the year, he probably wasn't scouted as hard, and so maybe he got a few more shots off. Competition maybe not quite as good. Competition improves. Guys scout you a little more, get to see your game. You got to start doing some other things. You press a little bit because you want to do well, and shooting's hard that way. Trying hard with shooting it's like putting. Doesn't always go well. So you just got to build your confidence in other ways, and sometimes you need to see a driving layup go into the basket so you just kind of feel good about yourself. And so I think he's done a better job of that.
Talk about some of the things you've done to kind of help the guys out a little bit. It looks like Amir, teams were walking in on him the past 3, 4, 5 games. Maybe you've used the screen game to get things open for him a little bit.
We're moving him around as much as we can. And, different teams, it's going to be more problematic for them than others. It just kind of depends on certain games. He's against bigger guys. That's hard if you're not as mobile, because he's a mobile big man, and he's one of those guys that can do some things around the basket. But he can also shoot a 3, and he can drive it a little bit. And so we've even over in Italy, we talked this summer and fall about how we were going to play through Amir a lot, and we really have always done it, even when we weren't as successful earlier in the year. The other thing is I think Amir's just playing better. Like early in the year, he was struggling. I remember one time you guys were asking me about, I don't know what his 3-point percentage, but it was low. And you're like, do you guys still want him to shoot threes and all that? And yeah, we want him to shoot threes. He's going to make them. Like, we've seen him make them. He makes them. He just needs to make a couple in games. And once he makes a few, he'll be confident and play better. And then he started making them. And, his confidence has grown. And now, he's started to put it kind of all together in some games. And he's played at a very high level. And, we need that. It's to beat these kinds of teams, the quality of team that we have in our league. Your best players got to play at a high level. When your best players don't play well, it's hard to win. And, he's played at a very high level these last 2 weeks.
Brad, on the young backcourt, speak on their development and also how much Scott has meant to the team as far as bringing them
I think Curran is improving and getting more comfortable and understanding what we're trying to do. And, I think he and Hunter have both played well off the bench the last couple of games for sure. Made big shots. Just, I thought Curran played very well. He actually drove the ball at the three-quarter press or whatever. We're getting pressed, and we got it to him twice, and he drove it right in the middle of the lane and kicked it out for threes to Newman and to Amir to break the press. So I think it's little things like that he probably wasn't doing as much of that. He was just kind of, playing, and sometimes he'd shoot shots, sometimes he kind of driving out of control, and just I think he's gotten a little better feel for how we're playing and played a little better and then got a little more confidence. And so I think he and Hunter Tyson have both played very well the last 2 weeks off the bench for us. I think that's really helped our team. It's, those guys come in and make a shot or score a basket or two. It really gives our guys confidence, and it helps our coaching staff just feel like we can sub more and move more guys in and out and do some different things and play those guys late. And that's what's been great is like sometimes it's Curran Scott out there at the end of games. Hunter Tyson finished the game when Tevin Mack fouled out against North Carolina, and so now you're watching Hunter Tyson, who's a sophomore, hasn't played a ton, but we think he's a good player, and he's playing great down the stretch in the North Carolina game. So guys are improving. Guys are getting better on our team. They're improving from the beginning of the season. Some guys are just developing. John Newman is developing. You're watching it. We've talked about it. And he's not all the way there, but you see flashes of high-level play. And that's exciting, and it just – the hard part about some of this is it just takes time, and we all don't want to wait for it, head coach especially. But, and Al's gotten better. He's gotten better. And having Clyde helps Al because he then is taken out when he makes mistakes more often. And when you get taken out and you have to sit over there and kind of then after the game we can show you on film and make you understand a little bit, you're really apt to listen and learn as opposed to when you kind of just get to play through all your mistakes, which is kind of what was happening really until Clyde got back. I mean, I used to joke, man, these other guys in the room, the Clyde Traps, the Amir Sims, I mean, almost nobody would get to play the kind of minutes you're playing, making some of the mistakes you're making. Like, they never got to do that. So, we had one point guard. So the kid was out there 30 minutes every game. And that's good in some ways because he's gaining experience that's valuable, but it's also not always good for the wins-loss column of your team when you have to overcome some things. So, he's learning, he's developing. I think he's played pretty well at times. Really for a young guy, who's been thrown out there sometimes, he's hung in there pretty tough.
It's a common theme here seems to be